Hello, y'all, and welcome to another story time brought to you by ABC Read and ABC Learn, in which we are here to help you develop and nurture that love of reading in every child as well as every adult. How are you all doing out there today, evening? Real early in the morning, real late at night, in the middle of the afternoon, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are around the planet Earth, third rock from the sun. I hope that you all are doing absolutely splendid. And I hope that you all have read or you're planning to read for at least 30 minutes, y'all. All right. Well, what I wanted to just briefly mention is about having what are called interactive read alouds. All right. And what made me think about that is because at my two younger children's school, they have been talking a lot about having interactive read alouds. And I would definitely have to say that I am so glad that this is something that my children have already been accustomed to, having those interactive read alouds. And what does that mean? That basically means it's just a simple way of just saying having the kids involved with the read aloud. Okay, so sometimes you may stop to ask questions. All right, you may ask them, well, what do you think, that the author meant when they said this? All right, or if you're starting off in the beginning, I'm definitely a big proponent of having the children look at the cover of the book. All right, so if you have them look at the cover and then you'll ask them, what do you think that this book is going to be about? What are your predictions? What do you think that the author is a message that they're trying to send in this book, right? All right, so these are just some of the few things that you can do in having an interactive read aloud. Also, interactive read alouds, you can also have the kids actually dress up like some of the characters in the book. Okay, you can have them, for example, with the book Caps for Sale. Me and my daughter, we did an interactive read aloud with that. We actually had caps on our head. And I had my daughter do the sounds of the monkeys that were making those different sounds in the book, Caps for Sale, which is a great book, by the way. So these are just, some of the things that you can do to get your child into the story, keep them engaged, keep them enthused so that they don't feel like, okay, here we go. I'm just sitting and listening, and then also too, it's also actually helping with their comprehension of the book as well. It's getting them to be able to show that they understand what the book is about. All right. So that's it. Not going to continue on with that any further. Now I am going to finish up because we're almost done with this book, Nikki and Deja, y'all, by Karen English. All right. Illustrated by Laura Freeman. And for those of you, if this is your first time listening to one of the read alouds on ABC Read, ABC Learn, that's fine. But I would really, really appreciate it if you would go back to chapter 1 so that you can really find out what's going on in this story. All right. I will say this, Nikki and Deja, they are besties, best friends, and they are definitely going through some ups and downs in which that's what friends they do. Sometimes they'll have those moments to where they get tired of each other, they get on each other's nerves, they get mad at each other. The one makes the other mad, the other one makes the other mad, and all types of stuff because that's what happens, right? We're human beings. We're not going to always get along. But the key is being able to, especially if you value the friendship. Now, if it's you cool with somebody or you friends and you realize that they're not good for you, maybe they are, they're not trustworthy, they're mean, they're not caring. And I thought, all these different things that I believe make up a good friend. And if you're not getting that, or if you're not giving that either, then you got to check yourself. Or with that other person, you're going to have to check them. Or you may just have to say, we can't need be cool no more. I'm just saying. So now we on chapter 10, not speaking. What? Not speaking. Oh, this is going to be good. Every morning, Deja comes for Nikki, since they walk in that direction to school. On Monday, Nikki waits only a little while for Deja to ring her bell. When the big hand is on the 2 and the little hand is on the 8, Nikki walks out the front door toward school. She doesn't see Deja until they line up on the yard in their line-up place. For some reason, Mr. Brown is there. He walks them to their classroom. Where's Miss Shelby? Everyone wonders. Your teacher is out sick today, class, so you'll be having a substitute. Just as Mr. Brown says this, a man who looks too young to be a teacher rushes into the room. Sorry I'm late, Mr. Brown. I went to the wrong classroom. They're all yours, Mr. Brown says as he leaves. The substitute puts his bag on Miss Shelby's desk. He writes his name on the board. Mr. Rob. Then he turns around and looks at the class. Everyone looks back. Nikki frowns. Her mother is completely against teachers using their first names. In kindergarten, when she had Miss Melissa, her mother insisted that Nikki call her teacher Miss Putter. Most of the time, she didn't. You may go to your seats, Mr. Rob says. He uses his first name, someone whispers to Nikki. It's Antonia. She's wearing a denim dress and slick black boots. Antonia follows Nikki and settles in the empty desk behind her. It's Richard White's desk. He's absent. That's not your seat, Antonia. It is today, she says, smiling slyly. Nikki feels a little thrill shoot through her. That's right. Mr. Rob doesn't know anything. Everybody can sit wherever they want. Mr. Rob has Deja pass out the morning journals, even though she's not the journal monitor. Deja looks very pleased. Mr. Rob doesn't notice that she gives everyone their journals before finally giving Nikki hers. But Nikki notices, and she's furious. Mr. Rob has Ralph pass out the pencils. On the board, he writes, yesterday. Write about yesterday, he says. Tell me everything. Nikki opens her journal and puts the date on the top line. You and Deja have a drill club, huh? Antonia whispers. I guess so, Nikki says. She doesn't want to tell Antonia about all the complications. She suspects Antonia would like that. I want to be in it, she says. Deja already has all the girls she wants. Nikki looks down at her paper. Yesterday, she went to the flea market and she accidentally misplaced Stupid Bear. She doesn't want to write about that. She could write about last night instead. What happened last night? Oh, yeah, her mother fixed tacos and her father ate 4. Then her mother said that was too many for someone who was watching his waistline. Antonia interrupts Nikki's train of thought with, Ask Deja if I can be in it. Nikki turns to Antonia and blurts out, I'm not even in that stupid drill club anymore. She wishes immediately that she could take it back. Too late. Antonia's eyes sparkle. How come? She asks. I hear talking, Mr. Rob says, standing up from Miss Shelby's chair. Let's get back to work. He may look young, but he doesn't act young, Nikki decides. She looks over at Deja, who's writing furiously. Deja doesn't even like to write. What could she be writing about? Maybe she's writing all about how she was mean to her best friend and blamed her best friend for losing her favorite stuffed animal, even though it wasn't even her best friend's fault. Then we can have a club, Antonia whispers. Nikki looks over at Deja again. What kind of club? She whispers back to Antonia. A club that everyone will want to be in, but we can decide who. She bends her head back over her writing. Mr. Rob is looking right at them. When the bell rings for recess, Mr. Rob says only those who've written a page can go out. Mr. Rob has them show him their work before dropping it in the basket on Miss Shelby's desk. Nikki has written only 8 lines, so she decides to write big so she can get to the end of the page before missing too much recess. Deja jumps up out of her seat and holds her full page up for Mr. Rob to see. She holds it in a way so that Nikki can see as well. Before she walks out the door, she looks back at Nikki with a little smile on her face. Nikki can't believe Deja is finished before she is. She still has 5 more lines to fill up. She writes big until they're filled, then turns in her journal. Outside, Nikki takes her time walking over to Antonia. She can't help looking toward the handball court. Deja and Melinda and Chi-Chi and Keisha and Rosario are in the middle of their drill routine. Nikki can hear their voices. There are some girls from Mr. Beaumont's class and even some from the 4th grade watching. Antonia runs over to Nikki and says, "They're really good." "Yeah. Are you going to be in my club or not?" Nikki thinks, one club is better than no club. "I guess," she says. From across the yard, Nikki sees Deja watching this exchange. She watches Deja almost miss a step and mess up the routine. Wow. Oh boy. Here we go. Here we go. We see what's going on, right? You see how Nikki and Deja are just like mad at each other, point blank. And they're doing these little different things to each other to kind of annoy each other. Do these things sound familiar to you? Have you ever experienced that with your friends? To where, you have your best friend and you're upset about something they're doing. And then you try to do little things to, show them that I'm mad at you. And now we see what's going on, right? And Antonia, oh my goodness, Antonia, she is capitalizing off of this. What do I mean when I say that? She is taking advantage of the fact that Nikki and Deja, they like this right now. So Antonia, she like, whoosh, I'm about to come right in between them two. Yeah. And Nikki, she peeps it, but she's still dealing with the fact that she doesn't like the fact that she was not made to feel welcome by Deja when it came to the drill club. And to top it off, Deja had blamed her for losing her bear. So it's a lot of stuff going on, right? A lot of different stuff going on. Do you think that Nikki should have agreed to get in the club that Antonia wants to start? And also, what kind of club do you think that Antonia is trying to start? So these are things that I want you guys to think about when I read the next chapter, because this book is just getting juicier and juicier. Woo-wee, I'm wondering what's going to happen. Oh my goodness. Y'all get y'all popcorn too, because I'm pretty sure it's going to get a little bit hotter between Nikki and Deja. Oh well. All right, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed that chapter. And remember to please continue to like, subscribe, and share our videos. And remember to please keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. Peace, my reading family.